What's up YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to be ranking every single mainline Kingdom Hearts game on Tiermaker. Let's get into this. Before we get any further into the video, don't forget to like this video please, because it really helps with that YouTube algorithm. It helps people to find my videos. Don't forget to comment down below as well. Comments help with the algorithm, and it also helps me to understand what you guys want to see. Don't forget to subscribe because we're really trying to grow. We're hoping to get to the first 1,000 subs by the end of this year. Don't forget to turn on those notifications as well, because you'll get notified of all of my uploads and my live streams when I go live. And don't forget to join me on my socials. Those are all linked down below. But let's get back into the video. Alright, so Tiermaker, of course, everyone knows Tiermaker. Tiermaker is a tier list online. It has custom tier lists that allow you to rank different things. In this one, we're going to be doing Kingdom Hearts. Now, I've not done a Tiermaker since the first video on this channel, which was a Tiermaker video. It was my ranking of Zelda games, which I might do an updated one for 2023, so if you want that, comment down below. But let's jump into this. So I'm kind of excited to get into this. So of course we have our tiers, S being the best, D being the worst, A being great, B being middle ground, C being meh, and D being crap. Let's do this. So, Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a Fragmentary Passage. I'm going to throw that in B tier. So, Fragmentary Passage is basically just a tech demo for what Kingdom Hearts 3 would later become. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad little game, but it is a very short game. You can beat it in a couple hours. It does have, of course, major plot points, because every Kingdom Hearts game kind of does. But this game is not much of a game. Although, if it was longer, I would probably put it higher, but it's just not. Although I do like the character customization in it, which I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring that back for KH3. They just didn't, which is a little bit unfortunate, but at the same time, like, it was cool just to have in 0.2. It also acted like a combat demo as well. You know, like the combat in A Fragmentary Passage is basically the same combat you got in Kingdom Hearts 3, which was great because the combat in 0.2 was fine, so I have no problem with it. But yeah, B tier, it's a middle ground game. Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, I'm going to throw that in A tier. Now, in the Kingdom Hearts community, the community is quite divided with Dream Drop. Some people love it, some people hate it. I love it. I think it's a good game. I think a lot of the worlds that appear there are quite unique. My favorite being, oh gosh, it's the Hunchback of Notre Dame world, but I can't remember what it's called. I love that world. The soundtrack, the environment, it's very dreary, and I kind of like that. Plus, I like the idea of them going into dream worlds in order to, like, go through the game. That's kind of an interesting take on it. The whole time travel element, which would then later play into Kingdom Hearts 3, I think it's explained well enough, although I am not the biggest fan when most things use time travel anyway. But I think it was explained well enough. I also love the fact that this is one of the only Kingdom Hearts games where you get to do a full story as Sora and Riku. Riku being my favorite game character. I do love Riku. I wish more games would allow you to do full game playthroughs as Riku, but hey. But a lot of the worlds here are quite kind of unique, which is nice. And the climax as well being different for Sora and Riku. It's kind of cool. Here we have Kingdom Hearts Recoded. I believe that's Recoded. Sorry, Recoded fans, but Recoded is not great. Mainly because of the console it's on. Whilst, again, we'll get into 358 later, but whilst coded, I know it's a remake of a mobile game, and they did fine for a remake of a mobile game. It's just, it's kind of a pointless game. A lot of the plot threads that are in that just aren't either explained, or they're not explained in further titles. So I think there's one scene in the game which is actually relevant, which is about the black box. That's it. Other than that, nothing else is explained away. It doesn't really connect to much of anything else. It just feels like a very pointless game. Kingdom Hearts 1, I'm going to put that in B tier. So, Kingdom Hearts 1 is a good starting point for the series, but as it is now, it is a very dated game. The combat and the platforming elements got better as the games went along. In Kingdom Hearts 1, they can be quite annoying. And one thing that does drag it down from A tier for me personally is Atlantica. I hate that world so much. Like, that world sucks. It's not fun at all. The rest of the worlds are fine, though. Deep Jungle's okay, other than the annoying platforming. I like Alice in Wonderland. Olympus Coliseum is much of a nothing world. You've got Monstro, which I thought was pretty cool. And then, of course, Hollow Bastion, End of the World. They're great, too. And Halloween Town as well. But it's a decent game and a good starting point for the series, but it could have been... Again, I was going to say it could have been better, but it's not that it could have been better. It's just, it's very dated at this point. You can tell it's old. Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm going to throw that in A tier. So Kingdom Hearts 3, again, this is another one's divided among the community. I quite like Kingdom Hearts 3. I love a lot of the worlds, although I do kind of wish the game was a bit longer. But the worlds they included pretty much all unique, other than the standard Kingdom Hearts worlds. I love how open they are. You know, I love that pretty much all of them are Pixar, because we've had no Pixar worlds before. Toy Box being my favourite in the game, because I love Toy Box. But overall, it does close out the Xehanort saga quite nicely. To be fair, it's a really good game. My only real complaint with it, well, only real complaints are, one, I wish there was a couple more worlds, and two, I kind of wish that the combat wasn't so floaty. Like, the combat's very floaty, and again, it feels almost as if your attacks have no weight to them. Kingdom Hearts 2 does not have that problem, yet it keeps nice flowy combat, so I don't know what they did with it, but it's very floaty. And you could tell there was an engine change between Kingdom Hearts 3 and 2, definitely. But soundtrack-wise, it's great. Character-wise, it's great. I love the Gummy missions. The Gummy missions are fantastic. A real big step up from KH2, although the KH2 Gummy missions are really good, so not bad. Overall, a really good game. Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, I'm going to put that in C tier. It's not the worst game I've ever played, but it's not my kind of game. I did play it a bit, but I never beat it. Like, if you can beat that game. I don't know if you can actually beat it, but I never actually beat it. I did watch the cutscenes on the remixes, but it wasn't my kind of game. I just found it quite boring, quite stale. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. I'm going to put... Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to put it in B tier. Now, again, weirdly enough, with the Kingdom Hearts community, a lot of the games are divided. A lot of people love 358, a lot of people hate it. I'm in the middle ground. Whilst I love the Days trio, and the story is great with the game, the one thing that irks me is some of the missions. Some of the missions are absolute bull crap. They are annoying as hell, and it makes progression through the game quite annoying. Story-wise and even control-wise it's fine. Like, I actually did a playthrough of this last year on Twitch. It was fun. But again, some of the missions drug it down for me. Not to mention, I don't think there's a single unique world. I think they're all reused from 1 and 2. I'm fairly certain of it. And I love how the story connects between 1 and 2 and Chain of Memories. But, again, some of the missions are just... eh. But other than that, it's an alright game. It's just... eh. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, that's S tier. I adore Birth by Sleep. I think it's a great game. Again, one that's very divided. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. I do love it. I love everything about the game, mostly, because the characters, all 3 main characters I'm a fan of. I do like all 3 of them and their pathways. I love how it's the one game in the series that has a really depressing ending. Because, of course, you know, spoiler alert, Ventus ends up asleep, Terra's taken over by Xehanort, Aqua ends up in the Realm of Darkness. But this is the game that kickstarts the entire timeline, so... or at least the main part of the timeline. So, I love the combat as well. I love the introduction of the command system. I thought the command system was really cool, along with the just normal, you know, attack-based combat. The worlds, I love a lot of the worlds, and a lot of the worlds are very unique, which is nice. My favourites being Deep Space and Enchanted Dominion. I love both of those worlds. I love the fact that Xehanort is portrayed as a good guy at first and then turns out to be evil, although you can pretty much figure it from the start. But Birth by Sleep is up there for me. It's my second favourite Kingdom Hearts game, behind Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, I just swap those out, there we go. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my second favourite game of all time, behind a Zelda game. I do love everything about Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is fantastic. The worlds, the combat, the music, the story, just everything. Like the data bosses and the secret bosses, Sephiroth, Lingering Will, the data fights, the Cavern of Remembrance. Like, everything about it screams amazingness. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you've got to love Kingdom Hearts 2, because Kingdom Hearts 2 is absolute boss. Just everything about it is fantastic. I believe that's Chain of Memories. Chain of Memories, I'm going to put in B tier. So, Chain of Memories is an okay game, and I do love the fact that you have a story for both Sora and Riku, but at the same time, the card-based combat can get a little bit cumbersome. I do like it, but it can get cumbersome. And what I mean is, it can very, very badly drag on because of how many fights you can end up in the game. It doesn't flow as nice as, say, KH1, 2, or 3 combat, or Birth by Sleep, or whatever. But the story itself is cool, and it's obviously the introduction to a lot of the Organization 13 members. Of course, most of them perish in it, but still. But it's an alright game. Like, it's decent. It's just, again, the card-based combat can get a little bit cumbersome. And of course, there's no unique worlds other than Castle Oblivion. So... and finally, Melody of Memory. I'm actually going to put that... See, this is where I'm probably going to get a bit of hate, but I'm going to put this in A tier. I am a sucker for a good music rhythm game. And I feel like, as a music rhythm game goes, it does it very nicely and very well. It's a good one you can play on your own, or with friends in couch co-op, or you can verse people online. I think it's pretty decent, and it includes pretty much every track you need, along with a few others, which is nice. And I feel like it does justice to those tracks and the worlds and everything. It doesn't have much of a story, although this game will connect directly into Kingdom Hearts 4 because of some of the story elements. So, it's pretty interesting to have that element there too. But let me know what you thought of this Tiermaker list in the comments down below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, please, because we're trying to grow on the platform. We just reached 600 subs today as I'm recording this, which is great. Liking and commenting also helps with the algorithm. Don't forget to join me on my socials. Those are all linked down below. Links to stuff like Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and the link will either be Trovo or Kick, depending on what I keep up there. I might put both in there. So don't forget to join me on those. I'll catch you guys in the next one.